Stop using motion capture.
Ah! So we just got finished watching Rogue One. Yeah, we're a little late to the party, but, well, this is when we watched it, so, yeah.
Stop using motion capture. Tarkin sucked. Leia sucked. You could totally tell it was motion capture, and I hate that.
Yeah. Tarkin was definitely a mocap.
There were some angles when he was believable.
Yes.
But other than that,
Yes.
I knew they were going to do it, too, because when I saw the back of his bald head, I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they just brought somebody new in that we haven't seen? I don't care if he looks different. I know it's him. Just use somebody different.
They should have did what they did at the end of, what was it, episode 3, when they had the guy that played Scorpius from Farscape.
Yeah.
They had him play a young Tarkin.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
But granted, it was a long shot. It was a wide shot that they did it to.
They should have used that guy.
But they were trying to make the point that this was immediately after, so that's why they were reusing like that.
We all know that guy's dead. We all know, Carrie Fisher's older.
Right.
Is that guy dead?
Who?
The guy who plays Tarkin.
I'm sure he was. He was ancient when Star Trek came out.
The guy that played the Emperor. He was in the prequels?
Yeah, but they use heavy makeup on him during episode 5.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I always thought when I was a kid, he was just an old fart.
That was a funny thing. They go, oh, wait a minute, he's still around, and he looks still the part. So
smart. But yeah, it was all right. I don't know. I hated that they didn't use John Williams, and I hated that it's a different theme. And the only time we heard the actual music that we're familiar with were like little bits here and there, and then at the end, during the credits.
I didn't mind it. It was still John Williams-esque.
They tried, but you could tell it's just I don't know. I didn't like the music.
I didn't mind. I felt it was fine for the film. If you took it just as, music for a film, as opposed to, hey, this is a comparison to John Williams.
And I also wanted to punch Jin's face. Because I hate that lady. I don't even know what she's from, but she looks like she's been in something do you know who she is?
I have no idea. I'll have to look her up.
I just wanted to punch her the whole time. Because her lips were like...
Oh, yeah, well.
And I didn't like how she had no hope at the beginning, and then all of a sudden she was the one that's spearheading the rebellion.
Right, it's like, oh, I'm invested now,
But I thought it was neat how I didn't know that the rebellion kind of almost fell apart when she, was talking to everybody, and they were like, "Nah, we're just gonna give up." That was interesting. I didn't know that happened.
Well, that's one of the things I really appreciate about this is that it added a lot of texture to that early world from when they were just introducing it in episode 4. You find out what being under imperial rule for 40 years has done to these people.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
A lot of the comments about the I forget the guy's name, the captain, Cassius. About how he was saying, a lot of us done things for the rebellion now. So you've had spies and saboteurs and assassins. You even see right from his intro on, this is not a good versus evil kind of thing. This is a very gray type of organization. They are not above murder if it advances their own cause. That whole freedom fighter is another man's terrorist kind of thing.
I like the lady that played Mon Mothma. I thought
she was a dead ringer. And they had the guy that was the fleet commander with the white beard, the guy that gave the Death Star briefing.
The guy that looked like Jim Henson?
Yeah, kind of like that. But they had a look-alike of him that looked very good.
I like the Alan Tudyk robot.
Oh, he was great.
You know who I wanted to see more of? The black guy and the blaster.
Yeah.
Looked like they ripped him out of SWTOR.
Yeah, he looked like he was a Mandalorian.
Oh, I never thought of that.
I don't think he was, but I mean that's the kind of direction they were going with. He had this huge, I guess it was a Tabata gas tank, because that's what they use for their gun fuel. So that's why he's sitting there.
I wanted to see more of him and the old guy.
Yeah.
Or the blind guy. I thought those two played well off each other, and I wanted to know more about them. But
So
the fight at the end was an interesting locale with the palm trees and why would you put an archive there, of all places?
well, it's like evil geniuses and their island volcano fortresses.
That's true. And I liked the guy in the white. I liked his cape, the way it was like across the chest.
Yeah, it was a functional cape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that whole uniform looked great. I really liked him. The Kranich, I think is this guy's name.
I don't
the
remember
director.
anybody's name.
I know, there's so many different names and places and all that flying right over your head. But I liked him because right from the go, it felt a lot more natural.
Yeah, he was good.
A lot of the, actually, pretty much all the other Star Wars movies, I've always felt that some actors, especially when you're dealing with the Empire, have always felt a little stilted, a little unnatural. But this guy, he's sitting there, he's got the smooth talking villain act and all that. Oh, how you doing? Why, when he walked up to come get Galen.
Who's that?
The dad.
Oh, I don't even remember that name.
Right.
I guess maybe
it's Star Wars names. Yeah, it's Star Wars names. They're always just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that guy you could tell he had a lot of passion behind that role. Like,
Absolutely.
He was good.
So, a lot of nods, not only to Episode 4, saying that, hey, this is a direct tie-in. You had clips pulled directly from the Death Star fight at the end when they got all the X-Wings and all that. So they got Red Leader and Gold Leader. That was direct pulls. They did a few of them like that.
I liked the end where Vader was fighting. Everybody said, "Oh, you gotta wait and watch that scene right there. Just makes the whole movie." All right, it was all right.
It was nice to see Vader finally regain that badass status.
He needed it.
He needed it bad.
Pussy.
Oh man! Ever since you find out who Anakin is, that just takes him all the way down. But now that you're finally seeing him the way that they've been portraying him in the animations, where he's a big badass fighter, and you really get a sense of that.
I felt like they put too much red in. I know that those eyes were always red, but it was very subtle in the first, or what do we call it now? The
Episode 4, the original trilogy.
Yeah,
I've heard it.
It felt that you could just barely tell there was a hint of red, and now they put too much red in the lenses. I think.
Yeah, it was the wrong kind of lens for it.
But that's all right. Whatever. It was nice to hear James Earl Jones, although he sounded different.
He definitely sounded older.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting tired of this role, man.
Yeah, but that was all right. So are they doing more of these?
I don't know. Well, yes and no. They're not. Obviously, this isn't going to go any further for this particular section because everybody's dead. Spoilers. But they are going to be doing other types of movies. They already have a Han Solo prequel set up.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I think they may end up doing Boba Fett.
I was never a Boba Fett fan. The Emperor was my big thing. When I was a kid, I don't know why I had a thing for the Emperor of all things. Not like that.
I don't know, Boba Fett always kind of felt wimpy to me because I never really noticed him that much in Empire, and then he got punked so bad at the beginning of Jedi that it's like, And then he just turned into this big cult thing where everybody's like,
I want to know more about Darth Maul, but I guess don't they learn that in the cartoon? Don't we
in the
learn?
cartoon, he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically pulls a Vader where it's just his hatred that keeps him alive. Oh, the base for Vader's home base. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of ironic. I mean, obviously that's the same planet that he
Yeah, that was
created.
I see. That was the one planet you get tags for every planet that you've been to, but unless I missed it, they
Nah.
did not say where that was.
They didn't.
But I'm pretty sure that was Mustafar, which would make sense
Yeah.
because Vader is supposed to be surviving pretty much all on hate and pain and all that. So where better than the place where he got all that hate and pain in the first place?
I didn't know he had a base. So it's interesting to see that. And I thought it was cool to see, being on the planet that the Death Star is hitting. That was interesting. When they escaped that first area. Have we heard the term, what was it? Crate crystals?
Kyber crystals.
Have we heard that before? Because it sounded familiar.
We might have heard it from the EU.
Okay. Yeah. Wasn't there a planet, like,
Ilium.
it was a giant kyber crystal or something?
I don't remember if it was kyber crystals, but the main focusing crystals for lightsabers came from Ilium.
Right.
I don't remember if that's what they were called or not, in which case you kind of wonder. But again, Ilium was something that was in the EU, so therefore it doesn't matter at this point. Or they could have been stockpiling
always
it.
matters.
It always matters. Well, I'm talking about as far as what Disney thinks. But, it could have been a stockpile that they've been getting as opposed to mining it out of there because it was a temple that they were raiding.
My favorite character was that blind guy.
Oh, he was awesome. Between him and K2, that was easily the two best characters in there. Everybody else did fine for the most part. I thought that what's the guy's name? The
pilot?
No, that was Bodhi. He was okay. He was all right.
Sounds like a dog's name. Bodhi.
The guy that played Saul.
Who?
The guy with the robot legs.
Oh, Forrest Whitaker?
Oh, okay. I thought that was his name. Yeah. I was surprised that it was just, hi, here I am. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be this badass fanatic.
Yeah.
Whew.
I kind of, for some reason, I thought he was going to join the group. And
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing him in all the publicity shots. I guess because they were like, here, Forrest Whitaker's in this movie.
Yeah, he was a hook and we'll just pull you right back out again. I guess he was just supposed to be I'm going to sit there and talk in my gravelly voice for a minute to move the plot, and bye.
Pretty much.
Give me my check.
He was okay.
He was okay.
I'd probably give it what would you give it?
I would give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of laughs in it, especially from K2. Again, I really liked Mr. Blind Guy and his buddy. The rest of the characters were okay. Wasn't anything fantastic. The acting was definitely one of the better movies. Easily.
It was refreshing to get away from all the Force. Well, they still had the Force stuff, but it wasn't in your face like.
They reinforced that the Force was reinforced the Force. They reinforced that it wasn't just a bunch of space wizards, but that it was also considered a religion. Yeah,
that was nice.
And especially with being under the heel of the Empire for 40 years or 30 years, however long it was. That would be something that the Alliance would hang on to as another act of defiance. Because that was one of the Empire's big things was stamping out all mention of that.
And they kind of got away from that in the movie, so it was kind of refreshing to bring, kind of weave that back into the tapestry.
But the space battle was excellent. I had to laugh though. The ship that they use to push the 2 Star Destroyers into the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, that was from KOTOR.
Was it Hammerhead?
That hammerhead was from KOTOR.
That's funny.
Which is hilarious because that's supposed to be like 1,000 years ago or something like that.
Maybe they kept the design.
I guess. I thought it was a funny, almost kind of a throwaway thing.
It's probably a nod to the whole thing.
Just I didn't expect them to pull that. I really liked how they had all the different ship designs. You know, you had atmospheric TIE fighters.
That stuff was never something I paid attention to, but
well, see, that's the thing. You pay attention to music. I pay attention to ship designs.
To punching girls in the face.
Yeah, she was okay motivation-wise. Yeah, she just kind of flipped that real quick.
There was no emotion. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were looking for in that character. It was not much emotion. I didn't feel anything from her. I felt more from the blind guy who had all that faith.
Yeah.
That was the dumb part, when he just walked through without anybody.
They kind of telegraphed that.
I mean, they are stormtroopers, so.
Right. Just walk in a straight line, they'll never hit you. I like the advanced guard designs, the black.
Sandy? Oh, the black. I like the sandy colored ones.
Yeah, those were pretty cool too.
Yeah. The black ones were cool. Were those the Death Troopers? Nah.
No, that was some.
There's so many different kinds.
That's just some kind of elite guard just for the director guy. A lot of world building. You know, you saw a lot more diverse aliens. Mm-hmm. You got a better feel of everything. You know, walking around in that city, walking around in. Yeah, just all the different places. You got a real good sense of what the world should have been portrayed in all the other films that you never really got.
Yeah,
you know, due to budget or whatever.
All those were who are the squiddy guys? They sound like this.
Oh,
a trap. What are they called?
They're Mon Calamaris or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were those weren't motion capture, were they?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
No, that was CG.
Was it?
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd end up getting like from Return of the Jedi, where it was the animatronic head, but that was clearly a CG thing. But it looked fine.
Yeah, that looked fine.
Right.
It looks fine when you're doing mocap on aliens, but like the Leia thing, I saw the back of her face. I'm like, shit, they're gonna do it. They're gonna put mocap on Leia.
Well, what they should have did was, with Leia, no. Leia, it looked like they just deleted the actress's face and then just did an overlay from an overlay pull from episode 4, which is actually not that bad. It was the mocap on Tarkin. What they should have did for that was have him on a monitor, because then any imperfections in the face would have been attributed to the monitor as opposed to trying to do that Uncanny Valley Tron 2 bullshit.
He looked like, who's the guy from Force Awakens, the bad guy?
Snoke?
Yeah, he looked like Snoke, just his eyes. Just the way his eyes, I don't know. He looked like Snoke to me. I still think maybe he might be Snoke.
I don't know. I heard, I don't think so.
No, he died, didn't he?
Well, seeing how the Death Star beam blew away, that was stupid.
What?
That was stupid. Tarkin goes, shoot the base. Okay, what do? They fire the beam to where it just knocks off the dish, and then and hits the ground 20 miles away, just so the aftershock could come across and blow everything away.
They were giving people a chance to escape.
Right, that was stupid. I get why they did it from a cinematic reason, but that was stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it should have been, straight down on top of the whole complex, and then spread out from there.
Well, I didn't even know that the Death Star had the capability to just hit. I thought it just destroyed planets and that's it.
Well, they showed that it had the capability in Return of the Jedi, because when they had the two fleets going at it, and then they started using it to pick off capital ships.
I don't remember that.
And then they were going, oh, we got to get out of here. We can't repel firepower of this magnitude.
Oh, I remember that part.
Right.
For some reason.
That's why they were saying that, is because the Death Star was just sitting there one shot in capital ships like it was nothing. So, but they were again, in the EU, they were making it like this was a new design that they figured out when they rebuilt the Death Star. But now they're going, oh, no, this was test fire stuff. So.
I give it a 7.
You give it a 7?
Mostly because the mocap killed it. I really hate I don't understand why people use that. You know, I don't mind having a different actress portray Leia or a different old guy portraying Tarkin. I'm alright with that, so it's more believable than having this. I had this problem with Tron Legacy too when they did the Jeff, but that was what, 5 years ago.
It's been a few years. Yeah, you think it's getting better all the time, but and then that was an actual full overlay from somebody else's face too.
Tudyk, was he like in a suit or okay? Yes. So that was actually him.
That was actually him in a mocap suit with the head over his head.
He was good.
Yeah, just like how they did Jar Jar and all the rest of the really tall.
We don't talk about Jar Jar.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No Jar Jar.
No, there was no Jar Jar in this movie at all. Thank God.
What was there? Maybe he was in the marketplace somewhere.
Yeah, he got blown up in Jeddah.
That would have been funny, actually.
Fucking awesome.
You
don't know what this light is. Ooh.
Okay, don't do that ever again. Anyway, it was okay. It's definitely worthy watching for the Star Wars universe, but the books will always be better in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
in
a
terms
granted.
Of world builders.
Yeah, but now that they've declared the EU as irrelevant as far as the films go, that still kind of ticks me off.
Yeah.
So, but it also means, if anything, is Disney ever going to decide to steal? Will we ever see a version of Mara Jade? Will we ever see?
Of course we will.
See, that would make sense, but
at least I hope we do.
So, but that hammerhead definitely means that SWTOR is canon. At least that's how I would take it. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was definitely good. Honestly, I kind of liked it better than Force Awakens. Because Force Awakens felt like a retread of the older movies. This one actually felt original. Yeah,
I still put Force Awakens up above it. Maybe this one goes below it, but I liked the nods and everything in Force Awakens, because then it felt familiar to me.
I guess, but for somebody that was looking for something, not just a rehash and a repackaging, which we get so much of in cinema nowadays, of, oh, well, here's my take of this, but it's still the same, I'm tired of that. I wanted something original. This felt original. This felt like something from the EU, where you could sit there and enjoy a book that had absolutely nothing to do. Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, it still had all these ties back to, hey, episode 4 is directly after this. But it still felt like this wasn't them pulling these familiar pieces all over the place and rehashing something that we've already seen.
Yeah, so. The absence of the scrolling text really bothered me too.
That was weird.
I want them to put that in every one of them, But whatever. It was just kind of weird to just thrust you in like, here you go.
That was Star Wars.
Yeah.